Veterans Day is Monday, November 11th. It originated 100 years ago on November 11th, 1919, on the first anniversary of the end of World War I. It later became a national holiday in '38. Yes, it's meant to pay tribute to our veterans. So when is the last time you did so? A handshake, thanks, a conversation perhaps? Yes, sometimes I'm just as guilty. You see a military hat, maybe you don't know what to say, or even if they want to talk about it. Well, I found a small town who discovered a grand way to say thanks for saving lives while they save lives.
His plans following high school graduation are to attend college.
This past Friday night at Joaquin, Texas High School,
there's a big round of applause as they leave the field to get ready for the next game.
The senior Ram football players were honored before their final regular season home game of their high school playing careers. A stadium full of cheers.
Come on.
A far different kind of welcome than Kenneth Dickerson received when he returned home from Vietnam in April of 1969.
Makes you wonder, well, why didn't that happen 50 years ago? What's the deal?
Why Kenneth and the over 2.5 million Americans who served in Vietnam in those early years were basically put out to pasture.
You know, I just kind of kept it to myself until my grandkids, they went to asking me about it. It was pretty noisy back in '68 and '9. Big guns going off, nerve-wracking. A 19-year-old kid shouldn't see some of the things that a 19-year-old kid saw back then, you know, because you can't unsee it.
Which makes this quiet stretch of farmland here in Shelby County.
But it's about, I don't know, 76 acres.
Now one of the best welcomes he could ever ask for. But you see, Kenneth and fellow Vietnam vets, Newton Johnson,
3rd Marine Division, went in Marine Corps in 1966.
Webb Bates,
1st Infantry Division, Spec 4.
Daryl Alford,
Lance Corporal, Marine Corps.
And a lot of these are names that men that I've grown up admiring, men like Steve.
And Steve Cockrell are now being honored in a way meant to generate a better understanding, conversation.
Some of it's hard to talk about.
And appreciation for what our true heroes went through, no matter the conflict.
Right here, right in that red chair.
No matter how long they've been carrying around those stories, like 95-year-old U.S. Navy veteran A.J. Procell.
Now, I started off at Pearl Harbor, but the war had already started.
Their names and the signatures of hundreds of other area veterans are now a permanent part of this unique piece of Joaquin firefighting equipment.
And it was used as a troop transport.
Through a Department of Defense program, Joaquin received this 25-year-old military transport truck they converted into a brush pumper to fight rural woods fires. But instead of just slapping red paint over that Afghanistan desert camo, the JVFD had this idea.
By asking the veterans to come and sign it, to me that puts that stamp on it.
To take this vehicle, once used to lead our soldiers to victory, to now help many soldiers share their stories.
Every man that's on here has a story to tell.
I was in the jungle, and we'd hear them choppers coming. You know there's help on the way.
Like Newton's story, who to this day still thanks the good Lord he made it out of that jungle alive.
And we would carry the troops wherever they had to carry them.
And Kenneth, who pulled many soldiers from that same jungled madness as a door gunner on those choppers.
We had to mount all this pump system.
And Daryl, a welder, who helped convert this truck for use in high water rescues.
Oh, they coming in and they say, bogey, bearing 260.
And AJ, who tracked incoming planes aboard the USS North Carolina and was docked in the Japanese harbor when Japan surrendered August 6, 1945. First built to help our men and women brave enough to fight for our country.
You know, you feel like in a way you're driving something that's more than just a fire truck.
And now helping firefighters save lives as they honor their heroes.
It gets you in the heart. It really hits home.
Those wartime images courtesy of the U.S. National Archives. Many volunteer fire departments across Texas have been awarded what's considered excess military vehicles, just like that one. The DoD works with the Texas Forest Service to locate departments that could use the help.